I'm bringing in CEO and co-founder of Cool Beans today, Tyler Mayoras. How are you?
Very good. Good to see you again.
What are some of the mistakes that brands make from the marketing perspective,
Yeah,
particularly?
I would say the number one mistake, and I've been involved in those kinds of companies, but I've also seen other people do it, is they get enamored with big store growth volume and too early. So, you know, a lot of big retailers, and I don't want to name any retailer that would do this, but retailers that have a lot of stores, they're happy to try your product and put it in because you're going to pay slotting fees to them. And if you don't turn in a year, they'll take you out and they'll put somebody else in. So they're happy to do that. And it's like a profit center for them. So you don't want to expand into somebody that's, number one, not your target market. If you're a premium brand, you don't want to go into a low end store, even though they'll be huge volume for a year. And number two, you don't want to expand too broadly like that in a mass market retailer before you have brand awareness, because you'll just die on the shelf. Nobody will see you, and you won't turn. And you'll turn 1 to 2 a week, and that's not going to keep you in anybody's store.
I think these are such important words. I want to reiterate what you're saying because I want all the brands to hear this. Yeah. Work on your brand memorability and that bespoke conversation with the consumer first, so that when you get into those stores, you have some meaning to these people. Otherwise, it's easy to get in, not make the numbers, the turns for the grocery stores, and then you're out. And then you're sort of, I don't want to say dead in the water, but it's really hard to pick yourself up from there. Would you agree, Tyler?
Yeah. And I would give a shameless plug to a good friend of mine, Dr. James Richardson, who's wrote a book called Ramping Your Brand. He's been a consultant in the space for a long time and wrote a book that I think that book alone could save companies a lot of money, because what ends up happening is you end up paying the slotting, you get in the stores, and it looks like you got this momentum and you're ramping up, and then that store takes you out a year later because you didn't get enough volume, and now all of a sudden you're comparing down against previous highs, and it's hard to raise money at that. All of a sudden you're explaining things away, and a lot of brands just die because they get on that curve and then they're on a down year and they can't raise money, and so they just have to shut it down.